Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Inside the Big Dynasty League. With me, as always, is the commish, Clyde, Randall, Waters, and the stat man, Petey Cunningham. All right, let's get right into our Mama Matchup of the Week.
Mama Matchup of the Week.
All right, last week's Mama Matchup of the Week was the San Francisco 69ers versus the Scarlet Pips. Statman, why don't you break this one down for me?
Very happily. Well, not very happily. My sister lost, so I'm not extremely happy. But this was
happy for her defeat.
This was a great matchup between the 69ers and the Pimps. Resulted in an 18-point win by the 69ers, really behind Cam Newton. 30 points going against that Lions defense, which has been phenomenal to start this year. Apparently they weren't so phenomenal last week. And Melvin Gordon, 2 receiving touchdowns, 34 points. All-around performance by the 69ers. Win with the zero-player strategy with Sammy Watkins.
I'm surprised at how consistently, year after year, that strategy works.
It defies logic.
It does. Like, here's logic over here, and it's like, screw you, I'm over here.
You almost see it as like it's sacrificing to the fantasy football gods. Like, I'm going to lay that zero player on the altar.
Help me out with the rest of it.
And it worked for the 69ers. The Pimps had Tyrod Taylor going up against that Bengals defense. Only got 8 points. Not a very good day for him. Fournette has been a stud for her this year, but hasn't translated to that record. She's 4-3 now. Hopkins has been resurgent this year with Deshaun Watson, so those efficiencies were about the same. Just tough loss.
Is this the first time the 69ers have beaten the Pimps?
This is the second time. This is the first time since 2014, though.
Man. All right.
It's been 3 years.
Commish, what did you think?
I really thought this matchup would have been a little bit closer.
Me too. It was a bit more of a blowout than I thought. I was really hoping for a close shave myself.
I was too. I did not anticipate this.
Let's take a look. Any other big matchup, Statman, that you want to take a look at? Any math things you want to point out with math?
Just the same teams keep rolling. Wayne Enterprises got a win over Get Hoffme, who's still reeling after that devastating injury to start the year with David Johnson going down. Convicted Llamas got a win. The commish here had a close matchup with the Chili Slingers. Settled on Monday Night Football, which always comes down to.
It all comes down to Monday night.
Had Jordan Howard get 7.6 to get them the win over the commish, so that was a rough one. But other than that, Mr. Clutch keeps rolling. We now have 4 teams that are I believe 6-1.
Man, it is crowded at the top, and we shall see what happens. Let's go ahead and move on to our awards of the week. First up, we got the Hershey Milk Dud Award. And this award goes out every week to the player that just was a big dud and got stuck in your teeth. Commish, who is getting this one?
I'm going to have to give it to Big Ben with his amazing negative 6.52 points with 5 picks and 2 pick sixes.
Man, Statman, did Big Ben crumble or what?
This award was pretty much decided at about 3 p.m. on Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we threw it on the group chat that It was going to take a monumental effort to top that.
Yeah, I mean, when he wants to do bad, he really goes for it.
He goes all out.
Man.
No doubt. Terrible performance by Big Ben.
Definitely. Next up, let's take a look at our Ram Pickup of the Week, brought to you by Ram Trucks. They're made by Ram, and they're driven by cool people like our own commish, Clyde Randall Waters. Who is getting this one, Statman?
This one is going to my very own Cameron Brate. 17.8 points. I tell you what, I picked up 3 guys last week to start them all, hoping I would get this award. Glad one of my guys came through, Cameron Brate, with that late fourth quarter touchdown. Helped seal nothing in the game because they still lost, but to seal this award for me. So thank you,
sometimes fantasy is what matters.
That's true.
Next up, we're going to our Whoopin' of the Week. This one is going out to Wayne Enterprises with his defeat over Get Off Me.
Get off me.
Destroyed him with 56.64 points of victory. Statman, any comments on this one?
I was nervous going into this matchup. I had Breeze and Michael Thomas on bye, so I was a little nervous. Picked up some guys. I think my team overall had a good week. Just Hoffman just had a rough week with some injuries and just poor performances by his player. I don't think this reflects how bad his team is.
Gotcha. All right, next up, we got the Resurrected Team of the Week, brought to you by Lazarus Department Stores. This goes out to the Team of the Week that came back from the dead and brought down some victory. And who else could this one go to this week but the EBDBB, who pulled off a 37.04 point victory. Let me tell you guys, I called this one. I said he was going to win. He's going to stumble into one win this year. I picked it. That's all I'm saying. The Poopery Poo Poo Team of the Week goes to who, Statman?
Unseen Academicals. I mean, really, they lost EBDBB, so really there's nothing.
That is
nothing more needs to be said on that
some
one.
Stinky poo. Whew. All right, and our last word of the week is the Proactive Breakout Player of the Week, and that one is going out to who, Kamish?
It's going to go out to Jarek McKinnon with 26.6 points, picked up by EBDBB.
Helped him get that win.
All right, way to go, McKinnon. We're going to go live now to Ben and get his power rankings.
And welcome to the Power Rankings. First off, I just want to give a big shout out to the commish. So far, I think this is probably the best show we've seen from the commish. Something seems different about them this week. But let's go ahead and start off. Number 12, we know who that's going to be. The Saquon Hopefuls, getting that big win and still being a dead last for my power rankings. Number 11, we got Wet Stuff losing OBJ this week. It's done. Pack it in. Number 10, we got Get Off Me. Just tons of injuries. No one really that great. Still tons of injuries. At number 9, we have the Bourbon Barons. I picked you to beat Allen. You didn't do it. You're stuck at 9 forever. Number 8, we got Unseen Academicals. Ty Montgomery, is he going to come back and be the lead back, or is it Aaron Jones? We shall see. At number 7, we got Los Pandas Desnudos. Probably the highest power ranking he's had since I joined the league. Coming in at number 6, we got the Skyline Chili Slingers. Barely thinking they might make the playoffs. We shall see. Number 5, we got the Scarlet Pamps. Get it together, Sarah. Number 4, we got Mr. Clutch's fake football team. Still don't know how he's winning, but I'm going to say Antonio Brown. Number 3, we got the convicted Llamas. I believe that's how it's pronounced in Spanish. Number 2, still keeping it at the 69ers, but I am worried about his wide receivers. No, you're not. Yes, I am. And at number 1, we're going to continue with Wayne Enterprises. FYI, he's Batman. And Petey, what do you think about them Bengals?
Bengals are looking good. We are now 2-3 on the year. Coming off that big win against the Bills. I got to say, did not have a ton of faith in them getting that win. Really thought that was going to be a loss, but I'm starting to turn the corner on this team. Now 2-3. This division is just terrible. The Ravens don't look good. I know they just beat the Raiders, who had Derek Carr out. The Steelers and Big Ben, we already covered them in the show, but they look awful. And then, of course, the Browns are the Browns. So, the Bengals had the 31-7 win against the Browns. It was like, okay, it's just them. But they come back, beat the Bills. The Bills who just went to Atlanta and won. I think this Bengals team has a shot at winning this division now. Did not see myself saying this 3 weeks ago. Starting to be a believer. This offense looking good under Bill Lazor. I got some faith in them. What do you think?
Honestly, Petey, can't believe you'd say that because I 100% agree with you. Houday, we got 2 wins. We looked decent against the Packers in the first half. Second half, we fell off, but we just saw them defeat the Dallas Cowboys, which Dak Prescott, Des Bryant, and Zeke Elliott aren't just a pushover. Honestly, I feel really good coming out of this bye next week. I think we can beat the Steelers. The Steelers are an absolute mess. I think we can take this, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm wearing my green jersey on Sundays, and I'm not looking to burn it yet. This is not the San Diego Chargers. This is the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think we're in it, and I think we got a shot. I think we're going to see Joe Mixon emerge. And AJ Green is just dominant. I feel good about this year, and maybe we can finally beat TJ Yates if he's playing for Houston Texans when it comes to wild card.
I hope so. I think you're exactly right. Mixon, it looks like they've decided he's the most talented back, which is the correct choice. I mean, he's far more talented than Jeremy Hill. And Gio, just more of a receiving back, third down back. But yeah, the defense is coming together. Burfict's back before he gets injured or suspended at some point, which will probably happen. But this offense looking good. AJ Green is a beast. I mean, it's hard to say that he could be one of the most underrated players in the NFL, but he doesn't get the pub because he just goes out there and does his job. But he is, I think he's every bit as good as Julio and Antonio Brown. He just doesn't do all the dramatic touchdown celebrations. And, Julio Jones puts up the yards because their offense playing in that dome. I mean, AJ Green plays outdoors pretty much 16 games a year. So I'm all in.
Dude's a pro. I love Green. I've defended him for years as a top 5 wide receiver in the league. I think OBJ is in a different stratosphere than the rest of these guys, but he's every bit of Julio Jones. I would argue probably better than Julio Jones, and I don't know who would argue that. But I feel good about this team, and I feel like the light's shining down on them. And as you can see from my forehead, the light's shining down on this Houday fan, and I'm ready for it.
I like it. Great insight, Ben. Great power rankings, although I still don't know how unseen academicals can be above EBDBB and B, even though they just lost to them. But we'll let that slide. I really think your rankings top to bottom are really good. I don't see how they could really be argued. I think they're really good. I think the top 4 teams, any of those 4 could be number 1. I think it's going to be fun to watch that battle unfold this year. Thank you for joining the show.
Hold on real quick. I just want to make a quick point that the top 4 completely interchangeable and the bottom 8 almost completely interchangeable. People need to pick it up in this league. The records are awful on the bottom 6 of this league. Sarah's kind of waning a little bit, but honestly, I think the 2 wild card spots at the 5th and 6th seeds are completely up for grabs. Joel's at 2-6 or whatever the record is now, 2-5. And I think Joel's entirely in it. I think Unseen Academicals is in it with 2 wins. And that is just ridiculous. Some of these ADL players are going to deserve a better shot than these guys by the end of the year to be in the BDL.
Ooh, ouch. Well, some of the guys in this league are in the ADL as well, too. So.
Well, they have to be because that's the only league they can win in.
Ooh, all right. We'll end the show there. All right, Ben, thank you for joining us. Good luck and stay tuned into the show. We're not done talking about your team.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Ben. Welcome back, everybody. AJ Green is awesome. I agree.
He's a stud.
Let's move on to our 2-minute drill. This is where we take a look at next week's... No, not our 2-minute drill. I'm a liar. Let's take a look at this week's Matchup of the week.
Matchup of the week.
This week's matchup of the week is the Niners versus the Chili Slingers. Statman, break it down for me.
I'm excited for this matchup. Chili Slingers have been kind of up and down so far this year. As we just talked about, the wild card spots are up for grabs. Chili Slingers needs a win here to stay in the hunt. And by far the toughest division in this league. This division's just brutal. Interesting stat, though.
I love stats.
The Chili Slingers, all time, are 0-6 against the 69ers.
Man. Never beat them is what that means, right?
Never beat him.
Not a mathematician, but I'm learning. Sit next to the stat man.
And I got a little fun fact here.
Not only stats.
Another fun fact.
But fun facts.
There are 4 instances in this league where one franchise has never beaten another franchise. This is one of them. The other 3 are Unseen Academicals, Los Pandas Desnudos, and Wet Stuff have never beaten the Pimps. The Pimps has never lost to a quarter of this league. Think about that. This is the 5th season. Never lost to those teams. It's unbelievable. I'm going to... Third fun fact. They're 1-7 all time against EBDBB and B.
Man.
How does that happen?
It would appear...
I have no idea.
That the Scarlet Pimps are good at fantasy football.
It's crazy. Anyway, back to our matchup of the week.
Matchup of the week.
Yeah, I really like the 69ers in this one. Chili Slingers have Baldwin and Prescott on bye. 69ers have Mixon on bye, but the rest of their team is solid. I like them to take down this win.
All right. So you're going with who? Did you say the Niners?
I'm going with the Niners.
All right. I sent my crack investigative staff out, and they got a quote from the owner of the San Francisco 69ers, Mr. Wade Wagner, and he says, "We have to bend but not break." And because of that, I will be taking the Niners as well. Who are you taking, Commish?
You know, they're 0-6, but this will be the week. I'm going to have to go with the Chili Slingers. This is for you. Happy birthday, Timmy.
All right, now
I like it.
we go to our 2-minute drill. 2-minute drill. All right, we got Bourbon Barons versus EBDBB&B Statman. Who you taking?
Bourbon Barons.
Commish.
The Bourbon Barons.
I'm taking the Bourbon Barons as well, and that makes this a sweep. Next up, we got the Convicted Llamas versus Get Off Me.
Get off me.
Get off me. All right, Commish.
I'm gonna take the Llamas.
Statman.
I'm going with Commish. Llamas get the win.
I'm going with the Llamas as well, and that makes this a sweep. Next up, we got Wayne Enterprises versus the Unseen Academicals. Do I even have to ask, Statman?
I can't lose this. I can't lose this game. I can't lose it. Wayne Enterprises.
Commish.
I'm gonna go with the Wayne Enterprises.
I don't like it when we sweep all the time, but I gotta go Wayne Enterprises as well, and that makes this a sweep. Next up, we got the Scarlet Pimps versus Mr. Clutch's fake football team. Statman, who you going with?
I think the Pimps are going to be angry after last week. Going with the Pimps.
I'm taking Mr. Clutch's fake football team. Commish, who are you taking?
I'm gonna take the Pimps.
All right, and last but not least, we got Los Pandas Desnudo versus the Wet Stuff on your Red Stuff. Commish, who you taking?
I'm gonna take the Pandas.
Statman.
Commish believes in himself. I believe in Commish. Pandas.
I believe in both of you. So I'm taking the Pandas as well, and that makes this a sweep. All right, and that is it for the 2-minute drill. We're going to hand it over to the Commish for the question of the week. Commish.
Last week's question was Chipotle queso. Good or not? The polls seem to have been split evenly with 6 votes for good and 6 votes for bad.
Wow.
Oh, man. Divided. We are a divided league. Oh, man. What is this week's question, Commish?
This week's question is, will Wayne Enterprises repeat as the champ?
Oh, man. Make sure to vote on this one.
I was not consulted on this question.
I'm so excited to see this one.
This is a setup.
I can't wait to see it. Get your picks in, answer the poll, set your lineups, have some fun, make some pickups, have some fun, eat something when you get hungry. That's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night.
Shop at Mike's Bodega.